Hey, I'm Todd. Thanks for choosing to watch my video, and if you would subscribe it, like it, all that stuff, that'd be great. Otherwise, enjoy the video, and I hope it gives you the information you need and is helpful to you. Take care. A 2009 Toyota Corolla driver's side CV axle replacement. Just a friction fit. 21mm lug nuts, we'll take those off. You can break the lug nuts loose while the vehicle's on the ground. Use safety stands, protect yourself. Wow, dark. Plenty of good meat down here to put a jack on. Safety stands. Protect yourself after it's been jacked up. Then you take the lug nuts off the rest of the way and take the tire off. This is a 30mm 12-point socket. There's a space here you can put a screwdriver in. Put a screwdriver in that hole in the rotor, and then you can hold the rotor in place while you break that loose with your socket and a breaker bar. I'm going to use the impact gun. You can stick a screwdriver in there like that and it'll hold it though, or you have someone step on the brakes while you break it loose. It was staked a little bit here in the slot, but that shouldn't prevent you from taking off the nut. You can try and knock this up a little bit with a small screwdriver. I'm not sure how much luck you'll have though. These should push in freely. If they don't, you need to tap this with a hammer or air hammer and loosen it up. Put the nut on flush and give it a few whacks will usually break it loose. It's free now. And then we'll take off these, I think, 17mm nuts and one bolt and separate the lower control arm from the lower ball joint. See, we've got some leaking grease out of the CV axle. Now it might help to turn the steering wheel to the right, and this will come out farther, the tie rod end with the rack. CV axle is almost out. We'll just have to get a pry bar between the inner joint and the transmission. Ooh, not a lot of space. Not a lot of space to get that out. I'll try and get a pry bar in here between the transmission and the axle to pry it, give it a few good smacks and pry it out. Get the axle out, not a lot of space here. It's got some flat spots on here to try and pry on. Don't have a real nice flat spot to pry on though. So I'm going to try and work on the flat spot and or further behind the axle. I'm actually going to go above too, up above. And try and use my crow's foot up on top, like so. So that's what I'll be doing up here. The angle underneath here is poor. I got my crow's foot.
Not a lot of space for.
Oh, there it went. Just like that. Thanks, Dan, for coming over here and jinxing me in a proper way. I don't jinx.
Kind of early in the week, that whole jinxing thing.
So here's how I was able to pry it out right here. Ooh. Just like that. That's what worked for me. I removed the shield here, a push pin, a couple 10mm bolts, another push pin down here, and remove this little shield. More for a better camera view, but it might make it easier to take it out, as we just did right here. Crow's foot on the front side of the CV axle. Then with our new one, we will lubricate this here where the seal goes, and also this little clip here. We're going to pack this with grease to kind of center this clip, because it'll collapse then once we push this in. Okay, so you can see I've got this kind of bungee corded out of the way. It's nice to get a nice straight shot into the transmission to when you're pushing the CV axle back in, because that little clip, everything needs to be nice and straight, I feel, to make it as easy as possible for that clip to go in straight and collapse properly and be installed. So I'm going to grease everything up. Got that greased up, packed full of grease, so you can keep this clip centered. Put some grease on this area for the seal, and we'll be pushing it in. There we go. I don't think there's any good way to get the shot. I'm going to be in the way, but we're going to be pushing this in. I was sure I was blocking the whole shot with my back, but sorry. This light out of here. Just get it as straight as possible and push it. It has a little bit of play that you can go back and forth a little bit, and push it in far enough and that clips collapses and slides into place. Ooh. And it's in. I just lost my flash, low battery. So reverse procedure to install, put the stuff back together pretty easy, and I'll give you some torque specs. Alright, so these are 65 foot-pounds and 158 foot-pounds for this nut here. And again, you can stick a screwdriver in there or have someone hold the brakes tight while you tighten that down with your torque wrench, and then you can stake it when you're done. Right here, just give it a tap with a punch and a hammer. Should be good to go. And then put the wheels on, tighten it in a crisscross pattern, and torque spec. 76 foot-pounds is the torque spec for the lug nuts. Good luck to you on your 2009 and other model years Toyota driver's side CV axle. Toyota Corolla LE automatic transmission.